was me this morning. Yeah. This was me this afternoon. Whoa, yeah! And why? Why, you ask me? Boxes from China. Means engines from China. And that means I am happy. Happy, happy, happy. Today, for our genuine old-fashioned unboxing, we actually have two, count them, two packages to unbox. Now this one's going to be the rings for the piston. They are just so small. Surely that's too small. Surely that's not right. I think they've got them for the wrong engine. But anyway, there you go. It's not the end of the world. What are they, like $4? I think they may have given me the rings for this engine. It's a genuine, old-fashioned, classic unboxing. This is the box. Ooh, we have foam. It's a good start. Oh, and it's just so beautiful. Goodness me, they do a good job, don't they? That is the starting unit if you're using a drill. But I hear you may bend a crankshaft if you use that. So, okay, so yeah, look, typically beautiful packing. I've got to carefully open this. I mean, the engine is tiny. You don't really get an idea of just how tiny this is going to be, but it's beautiful, and I can't wait to get it going. So, what's this? Oh, you have now we have a little English thing. Open the bottom plate, blah, 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 wiring, blah, 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 batteries, blah, 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 filling, blah, 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 turn the wheel, blah, 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 switch the switch, blah, 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 ignition, blah, 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 compression, blah, 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 carburetor needle, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that sounds very, very sensible, all very sensible. So there we have it. It is running really, really smoothly. Now, the thing I'm curious is the bearings. Now, those bearings have almost no wiggle. Almost no wiggle side to side, which is outstanding and an enormous improvement on my E-Sheen. Where is it? So you guys with these engines will know that this hit and miss engine, the bearings for that were absolutely useless, stuffed. Now, bearings for this are 100 times better. Let's have a look at the other parts. Very, very, very lightly sprung intake valve, which is fine. A bit stronger on that one. Now, what about the amount of wiggle there? No, that's also very, very good. I mean, so far, I am seriously impressed, actually. Okay, that's not so impressive. That's loose as anything. I mean, that's easily dealt with, isn't it? That's easily dealt with. And this thing can come off. It's not particularly good looking. That E-Sheen. We'll get that off later. We'll put a little bit of hot glue gun glue down, well, the other side of that hole to stop oil going down there. But that's a beautifully made little base, isn't it? It's really, really beautifully made. The machining on this is pretty good. Now, I can get a real vibration from moving my hand across this. You'd hear it if the fish tank wasn't bubbling away in the background. But that is much, much, much smoother. So is that. Beautifully machined. Really, I'm really, really impressed, actually. I'm really impressed with the machining of this. My word. It's fine, isn't it? Just really, really finely made. So we've got a fuel tank up here, which is good. A little bit of a bend on that, as you can see. Might straighten that up. But the good thing is, you want the fuel tank up here so that this is easy to start. Oil can go in there. I'm going to check everything's tight before I get this running. But so far, I'm really impressed. And you know how little these are selling for at the moment. So what remains is batteries, oil, and go. Okay, here's another thing to notice. We actually have a tiny, tiny bearing here, ball bearing. The wiggle here, the wiggle up and down there is almost nothing. Okay, so we've got a little bit of lateral wiggle there, but very little. That's more than I want. I'm going to improve that with tightening this up a bit, I think. And this is loose on my one. This is about to fall out, but hey, who cares? You know, that's easy enough to screw in. Here we go. That's tight. That's tight. Yeah, look, I'm blown away. The first look at this, I'm really, really impressed. Look, we've got a tiny, tiny bearing on this follower, the cam follower. That has a tiny bearing on it. The cross member is steel here that rides on. The fuel line is the correct size. I mean, I don't mind this having an eSheen sticker, but it really does not need to be there. And we are dreaming if we think this is ever going to be a collector's item and that I should leave that sticker on it. These are mass-produced. It's beautiful, but it's mass-produced. Now, it's possible... There's just no play in that. I'm really impressed. But it's possible that a tiny washer in there to hold that slightly closer would reduce the play in that. Probably not a big problem. I'm going to check this to see whether the balls are going to hit the engine, and that one's not, and that one's not. No. Now they seem a long way away from hitting the side of the engine to me. Some people say they have. Just checking this for square. Yep, that's square. I mean, yeah, look, I'm really, really impressed. First thing is, though, get this off. So perfect. Okay, that is much better. I'm super happy with that. Wow, what a beautiful model. Does not need to have eSheen written on it. Sorry, eSheen, I will, keep you probably underneath the machine somewhere. Okay, so we do seem to have a bent crankshaft on this. So that's the only downside I've found so far. That is not... oh, look, it's only 1 millimeter, isn't it? Yeah, let's see what we can do about that. So, put some batteries in. We're about to test this new engine. Making no changes, no... I mean, I've got these ready. I think these are one of these will make a really good oil tray for that engine to stand on. I think they're stainless steel. They're off an old laptop, as is most of the stuff I have. I've noticed that this has been oiled with some light oil, and so, oh dear, far too much. So I'm not too worried about oiling it yet. So we've definitely got petrol in that. It doesn't take much, not like the big engine behind it over there. Right. Well, that's just amazing. Quite loud. Okay, it might be a little bit lean. Okay, I've cut myself already on that, so I should probably use the cord that they've got for it. Anyway, let's try this. Certainly easier to That's better, isn't it? That's quite a loud pop. Quite a loud pop. Now, why does it only go for a few seconds? So we're just going to adjust that really, really slightly and try again. The pull start actually works really well, I've got to admit. I'm never been a fan of pull starts, but hey, it's working. Okay, we'll try that again. It's not that hot. Now, all of these bits can be tightened up. We'll work on that. Change the spring. In the meantime, we need some oil, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we need to get the crankshaft somehow. Okay, let's try that. Too rich, possibly. That is a very, very touchy little needle valve, and I think I will be putting in a little adjuster arm on that. The first thing to do, it looks to me, is to undo this screw here and move this whole assembly up a bit, which will mean that when these balls are coming out, although the whole assembly is going to be higher up, the balls are going to be hitting this part earlier, and they may not hit the side. So that's the first change. Move this assembly up. Yeah, and all these little bits need tightening up. But so far so good. Yeah. This undone, move that up. Should help hugely. Well, that is like a clock. It's just amazing. What a little honey. And what a bargain. That's better. You get, yeah. Okay, that flywheel is just not quite big enough, is it? But I can stick something extra on the outside of that flywheel and we can improve matters, I think. Well, that's pretty darn good, isn't it? Nice.